Hello, welcome to another episode of the Replay Review series. I'm your host Direct, and today we'll be looking at Lowland Pants on McCree. So Lowland Pants sent me a VOD review request via Discord, and he said he wanted to practice and learn some more about McCree and Tracer and such heroes because these are his off heroes. Because it's a Doom one trick, a Doom OTP. So we're going to be looking at his McCree for now. I don't know if he will swap. I haven't watched the VOD so far. We will begin with the traditional stuff of looking at the team comps. This is the stuff we always do. And with that being said, let's start. So, we have... You have a Brick, you have a Zen, which are pretty strong right now. These are the best supports right now, next to Mercy and Baptiste. This leaves you with a little bit less healing though than if you would run a Baptiste or a Mercy. So the McCree is kind of displaced because you don't have enough healing to sustain the McCree. Same goes for the Diva. I don't know, I still don't know why people are playing Diva in today's meta game. Because other picks are just more viable. You have the strongest tank in the game being Ball. You have the strongest support in the game in this patch, which is Zenyatta. And you have one of the strongest DPS, which is Tracer. And you have one very, very meta DPS, which is McCree. And another very strong support, which is Brick. Overall, quite good. Like, if Zen and Ball in this patch are SS tier, the Brick would be S, the Tracer would be S, and McCree would be like A plus A. And Diva would be somewhere around B with Reinhardt. So on the enemy team, we also see a Diva Ball, which is interesting. Ball, like I said, one of the strongest tanks in the game. They have an Ashe, a Tracer, a Zen, a Mercy. So their comp is overall better because this is a better core. This is a way better core than your core. Because they have the Ashe, which is getting pocketed by the Mercy. Which makes Ashe even more viable than she already is. Being able to basically one-shot somebody. We know that this is the patch where she does 195 damage, but still, usually with some poke from for example, the Diva, you would still die with one shot. Same goes for if you get poked by the Tracer or the Ball or any of these characters. As McCree, your main job is to flashbang the Ball on his engage and contest the Ashe. You can also flashbang the Tracer if she's trying to engage you or anybody on your team. The rest doesn't really matter now. The Zenyatta and the Diva can also, of course, contest you. But you are a soft counter to Ball and a soft counter to Tracer, and your main threat duelist is the Ashe. So those are the targets you need to watch out for. You don't know that yet, but you're going to know once you have some intel. So I'm going to press play now and we see how this will go. I'm still going to adapt to the we don't pause so often anymore because I haven't gotten any negative feedback about the pausing mid videos not being there anymore. It also makes the videos shorter, which means there's more watch time. Usually my videos are like 50 minutes to like 60 sometimes even, and this burns it down to like 30 minutes. So let's start. Okay, you're looking at high ground, which is kind of nice. Okay, you see the Ashe. The Ashe already shot you twice. You're waiting for some healing, I guess. Okay. I want you to stay somewhat near to your supports as you need to stop the Ball. That's a nice flash. The tracer awareness wasn't that nice. I don't like you being on the low ground flank right now. But with you not being contested, it is fine for now. The tracer didn't realize you were there, and you just one-shot her, which is very cool. So yeah. You can try and stick closer to the Mega. So you're closer to the wall and you cannot get shot that easy from the high ground. So this was a quick point take, very cool, very nice. Go on. So now you're going into point B with 5 minutes 50. You like to take the high ground here, because on this map the high ground position is the most powerful position of all the positions you can start at. That's why we oftentimes see, for example, contenders players or even league players even start off their defense on this high ground, is because it is such a powerful high ground. Okay, you're fighting the Ashe. That was very good of you. The Ashe peeked into you, meaning you could easily secure a kill there. Very good. Now you saw the Ashe getting rezzed, and you have the angle on her again. Now you need to watch out because you're getting contested by the Tracer, that you're not absolutely getting destroyed by their Ashe, which you did. So, in retrospect, I would like you to do what I would call not peek into the enemy, let the enemy peek into you. You did that quite well in the beginning, when you were looking at that upper doorway on the high ground where the Ashe was behind, and the Ashe peeked you. You absolutely destroyed the Ashe because you were already aiming at the door frame she was going to peek out of, which gives you a massive advantage, of course. But then the Tracer was contesting you, and you decided to still play at the sidelines of the Ashe, which got you killed. I would like you to be aware more of where the enemy's position, because you knew the Ashe was up there, for example. The Ashe could still shoot you while you were contesting the Tracer, or being contested by the Tracer. Probably some settings changes or something. Okay, your team got a pick. And both balls use mines, and both Zens use trends. So now you have a pretty free... They say pretty free, because it's not that free actually. High noon. Okay, this is where you get out. You already lost too many people. Very well. I don't know what you were doing there. You missed the flash. Yeah. If you lost the fight, don't stay near the positions that the enemy can rush you at, especially when your people down. And don't just think they're not gonna chase, because that's what you did. You just found the hammer at the elevator because you thought it was over anyways. And they're not gonna push you, but they usually will push and stagger you, so could have ran even further back or played it a bit more safe. It's just this micromanagement after fights. That's a nice headshot on the Sig. I hope you pulled out that he's low. Yeah, you can spam some shield there. That's a decent stun. It's gonna force the ball away. Decent aim. Absolutely destroyed that. You need to look out for, of course, the Ashe. Nice stun on the ball. That's an okay minefield. That's a nice zoning ult. Okay, don't look at the wrecking ball. There's a much more important threats right now. I didn't like how you looked away from the fight just to see if the ball was coming. You could have heard him coming instead of like watching where exactly he's rolling. Like if the Ashe would have like just headshot you twice, you would have been like dead. Right? Okay, they're swapping two contesting heroes now. fast heroes. Yeah, you got rolled because you didn't have your cooldowns. That's quite unlucky in the contesting phase. This might lead to you losing, but I doubt. Because you still have mana advantage on point. As long as the enemy team doesn't get another kill, you should be fine. As long as you have mana advantage on point, the respawn timer for the enemy team will be going up, so you should be fine. Okay, you can flash the ball whenever he tries to spin around in circles. You can zoning high noon? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, you missed the flash. It's fine. One play that I didn't like is you going on the point. It is much better for sniper or hit scan characters that want to play at mid-range to actually play at mid-range. Right? Just to get a broader view of the point. The position where you high knew that, I would have just stayed at that position. So you could spam shots into those who will contest after. Instead of going on point as well. Because getting more people on point doesn't make the advantage better. As long as you have advantage, you will usually have the respawn timer of the enemy team go up.
Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Get it done.
So we have you on the high ground with your supports, your Tracer's already dead, which is quite bad, and the ball is controlling the other high ground. And your Divas for some reason is on the low ground. That's a nice kill. Okay, you got knocked down. And absolutely destroyed. I think you got confused on what happened. And you were looking for a target and you just got absolutely rolled because of it.
This life's never uneventful.
I don't know. Maybe you had a brain malfunction. Who knows? Anyways, this fight is lost. Now you set up for the next fight, and usually you would set up on the elevator high ground. Set up on the elevator high ground. Okay, you give them a high ground for free. Anyways, you give them the high ground for free, which is really bad.
I need healing.
At least get on the other high ground. You know, now you're late though, right? Fight is already about to start and you're not gonna get to the close high ground to them. You're going... Okay, you're walking to the close high ground now. Well, I gave you time to rotate. It's kinda nice. Giving you time to rotate was kind of them. Okay, nobody picked that high noon. Just a zoning high noon, it's not gonna kill anything. Okay, no need to use flash. I was just about to say no need to use flash. The ball is already gone and I don't know why you dropped. It is not your job to contest point, and it's not your job to just suicide like that. This was an ego play. You tried to kill the ball. You shouldn't have. As soon as the ball got stunned by the brick or knocked away by the brick, you should have stayed on the high ground and just spammed it from the high ground or spammed other targets that were in line of sight. Not drop down onto the point to get yourself killed because you drop into 4 people. Right? It's not your job to contest the point. The tank should. Only in like losing fight, contesting phase. But then you wouldn't be on McCree. Okay, now you want to set up on high ground again. Yeah, you go to the stairs, which is kind of nice. That's a big ultimate. That's gonna force them to not push this. And they wasted a trance. Yeah, you can keep just shooting at the ball. It's okay. I don't know what your diva is doing. don't know why you leave us on low ground, that like just inside the enemy team. Okay, hide. We're good. Don't turn away from the danger, please. Kind of a wasted high noon. You want to use high noon when the enemy is pushing in and at a favorable position to high noon. They were already behind walls, so there was no reason except for delaying them. You can help protect yours then maybe, but he got armor, so he should be fine. I still don't know why you're not taking the front high ground. So, again, we don't have a movement ability, so maybe that's why. Okay, they'll not peek. Yes, you can shoot at the characters that are not in the McCree sideline. Okay, you don't have flash for that pile driver. You're still surviving though, which is nice because the ball got discorded. You could have died there. You could have actually died if you like. If the ball wasn't discorded, he wouldn't have died, and you would have gotten absolutely destroyed by the pile driver because you didn't have flash for it. Don't just stun. Stun when the enemy is using a cooldown. You can stun away, right? For example, if ball is pile driving you, you can flash the pile driving ball. If the hog is using vape, you can flash the vaping hog, and not just flash him for the sake of flashing. Okay, you're going for a flank high noon. Take big health. And probably kind of caught out of position. Caught out of position. I don't know why you took that rotating path to begin with. Of course, it makes you harder to hit, but like, where is your escape if you're getting hit? There is no escape, right? In Hero's Point, because everybody just dies. Well, it's still quite winnable though. You should be able to win this though.
Initiating match.
Let's skip to the attack though.
Ready for battle. Ready for
Okay. So, pretty similar so far. Comps are the same that they were in the beginning. Okay, you're spamming at the high ground. You could take high ground. High ground is free right now. They're waiting tracers. They're waiting tracer was just now, right? The high ground with the lamppost. Could have just taken that for free. Instead, you're pushing head on into 4 people. Ha. One of you got picked, which is quite unlucky. You need to kind of wait for him. Not much you can do right now. You're missing some shots. Quite unlucky. Still could have taken high ground. Still. Like, look how much time you're wasting just standing like next to your team doing nothing. Okay, now you're going on a flank. If you don't, okay. You finish a kill, which is nice. Your flashback got eaten, so you die. I mean, you would have probably died anyways, but you would have gotten the kill using your From the Hammer flash combo. But you just got to finish on the Mercy, which is nice. Your team is gonna win this for you. Team is gonna win this for you.
30 seconds.
Walk to point. Okay, you want to take this high ground, take as much armor as you can. poking away. This is actually good for you. That he moved you this position is actually good for you, because you're now the closer high ground. From the peak though. Okay, your Zen is contesting point for you. You got stuck, you're dead. This is the time where you swap. And you're probably gonna lose because of ultimate disadvantage. That's quite unlucky. You were close to some ults, but you didn't get them in time.
Score 2 to 3. Switching
Now you need to defend. Let's see how that will go.
ready for battle.
So this, by the way, was the high ground I was talking about, which you could have taken during the fight to get some more value, because high grounds are just OP.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
The greatest enemy.
60 seconds remaining.
It was okay of you to go aggressive and drop from high ground there, but like
30 seconds.
Zen got killed because you left him alone.
Locked down, we win.
Like this should be your primary goal, to stay near your Zen, that he doesn't die to the ball. Now he's just gonna get spawn trapped. Your Diva's trying to help him, which means you have
10 seconds.
no tank at like contesting stage right now. Your wall is probably gonna like try and kill something here. Maybe he's gonna do it. Okay, you got some poke damage onto the Tracer. You want to keep holding that high ground though. Watch out for the Ash. Don't tunnel vision onto the tanks. Yep, you saw the Ash. Again, you used flash for no reason. You even missed it because you just preemptively threw. Somebody has to touch here. This fight loss was a combination of your team being disorganized and, I don't know, you're not doing much. Also, your Zen got back late because you let him die. Your job is to protect the supports with your flash, because the ball is going to engage them. Doing it again. They're doing it again! They're just going to engage your supports. I know in every other game it would be the tank's job to peel for the tanks, but in this scenario it would be your job to kind of peel for the tanks too. Because you have the flash and you want to flashbang the Tracer or the diving ball that is going to kill your backline. If you're staying near your supports, not only are going to save is it going to save you from getting dived on by the ball, but it's also going to save your supports. Because the brick cannot really... If the brick, for example, misses her flail, the ball is going to pile drive onto your Zen and your brick, and he's probably going to get a kill out even if the brick bashes him. Like, so you should play near the supports in order to flash. I don't know, this was okay gameplay. I would have liked you to use high grounds way more. You could have sometimes split some more from your team. Sometimes you could have played closer to your supports at least. Or even like you could have just taken your supports with you, I guess, onto the high ground. Instead of like just standing on main. Some other things. I don't know why teams are all taking the front high ground. The front high ground is so broken in the OP. There's some aiming issues. Don't pre-flash. We saw you pre-flashing like 2 times. I would not like you to like pre-flash. Use your flash for killing cooldowns. Right? If you see somebody's mid cooldown, you can kill the cooldown using your flash and get value out of the stun to kill something. You can, for example, flash the ball whenever he's pile driving, or like I said, the hog example, right? Do you want to flash the hog just for flashing, or do you want to flash the hog to kill his hook or kill his vape? It's for you to decide, but the answer should be obvious here for what the flash is going to be used primarily. Then we saw you use some tactical rolls for the sake of reloading, which is kind of nice, but I think you reloaded too often. Then there is you high nooning or not knowing when to high noon. Sometimes you high noon when like nobody was on screen to begin with. You want to high noon when there is chaos in the fight, and you can secure some kills because nobody is actually noticing you. If your team were to fight in a 5v6, for example, and everybody would be fighting on point, you could then flank and high noon from behind to get a kill or two, because nobody would expect it, and there's so much chaos in the fight that it might not get noticed fast enough for everybody to get out of sight. You could also use the McCreel to, of course, reload, but there wasn't really a scenario where you could have used that. Lastly, I would like you to stop the habit of peeking your enemy, right? You want to be more aware of the sidelines of the enemy and your position compared to them. We saw Ash in the top window, for example. You were fighting when the Ash peeked you. It was good because you could get first shot on the Ash, which gives you massive value because she's gonna start off at low HP in the duel. But then when the Tracer attacked you, you had nowhere to really go, and therefore you had to play in the sidelines of the Ash, and the Ash kind of forced you out and got you killed in the end. So yeah, you want to have the enemy peek you, not you to peek the enemy, and you want to be aware of enemy positions so you can prepare for you getting either dived on, flanked on, or know all the angles where enemies could be coming from when you're holding a position. That being said, other than that, you did pretty well so far. I saw some nice rollouts, some nice rotations, some nice... yeah, well, the aim was quite okay. I didn't have a problem particularly with the aim. There were some issues, but like people like Tracer and stuff are hot to it anyways, so I'm not gonna take some points off you from that, you know. Anyways, I hope this helped. I hope I gave you enough advice. Maybe we can see some more characters next time, except for just McCree. And I hope everybody's going to be staying healthy still, because, you know, I got a little bit of a cold. You might realize during the video, but, you know. And I see you in the next one. Smile.